And you're talking about a town that was leveled. It was ash, like metal, everything. It was just unbelievable. This place is really special, right? I mean, people see it in the beauty and what it is, but it's special because of the community, and like that word aloha is really intricate. I found by living here, like I have to really ingrain that and really learn what it is and try to exhibit and live it in my life. The true community here lives in that spirit of aloha. And that's us taking care of each other and accepting for each other for what we are, really are, right? And and it really showed itself when that fire happened.
There's say Maui either accepts you or rejects you, but I think that's just another way of saying it keeps the kooks out. If you don't help and provide and all you do is take, then yeah, you're gonna get weeded out. But if you're here to contribute and help and respect, and Maui is open arms. Maui welcomes people and supports its own and supports its community.
Here in Hawaii, we're a very ocean culture. Everything's centered around the beach and the water. But at the end of the day, like, you can't go to the beach every day. Some people can, but not everyone has that availability or that opportunity. And some kids just aren't into surfing, or some kids aren't into swimming. There's lots of families that want to hike and ride their bikes and do those things. We'll have people who lost everything, right? They lost their houses, they lost all their belongings, they lost their bikes, and they'll still come and rake and help us here, even though they have other things to worry about, because they're just excited to have this as a resource.
From the fire to Christmas of last year, with a lot of sponsors, and Kona being one of the main sponsors, right? They donated, close to 400 bikes, awesome bikes. And we put out almost, like I said, 1,400 bikes to the kids in the community that were displaced from the fire. So they, of course, need a place to ride these bikes. Every year we do 400 to 500 bikes for Christmas. So this is gonna be great for these kids, especially the ones for the fire.
The community is strong here, like with Moose at Cranked and Ray, the Maui Mountain Bike Coalition, and everyone else involved come together strong. The Maui community, as in at the post-Lahaina fires, is just the most heartwarming thing I'd ever experienced. People coming out for the volunteer days, and Jim Falk Motors and Crank Cycles donate bikes every year. Extra special these last few years after the fire, and there's no place for the kids to really ride it.
I'm gonna have a small, maybe like 1.5 foot rollable drop here, and then this will probably be like 2 or 3 feet, and then like 4 or 5 feet.
My name is Ray Watson. I'm the president of the Maui Mountain Bike Coalition. We wanted to create a public riding area. On the west side is where I'm focused because that's where I live. It's my backyard. Well, we weren't having much success. We had been putting proposals in, with different landowners in different places. And then the fires happened in August of 2023. And that kind of just like derailed every project that had ever, everyone immediately was focused on that because that's what mattered at the time. After a couple months of recovery, we were able to start having meetings again. Cody and Cam came out in January of 24. Was our first meeting ever with this project.
When Cody laid it out and talked us through it, I was like, bro, you need to be here. So I flew him in, right? I was like, dude, yeah, if we want to nail this, I flew him in, and he sat there at the proposal, and that was the catalyst.
Some of the existing trails here in West Maui were on Maui land and pineapple, which was one of the original pineapple plantations back in the day here in West Maui. They ultimately kind of became more of a development company. They run golf courses, and they're the majority landowner on this side of the island.
After the fires, they were a lot more open to ideas on how to give back to the community.
They were willing to donate a piece of land, but it had to tie into their future developments. They didn't want to donate a piece of land that would ultimately be taken away from the public in the future. They're super on board, but our biggest issue was like, where can we find 5 to unlimited acreage to come in and actually do a trail build?
What really kickstarted this all was the Max G Foundation's initial donation to Census Rad Trails, which is Cam's trail building company, headed up by Cody Wilkins.
We looked at 3 different properties. One was the Xterra Trails, where they held an Xterra triathlon about a decade ago. So there's an existing trail infrastructure. We originally were looking at building a flow trail, which would have been really cool. But we kind of wanted to move in more into that introductory space of, we have all these kids on bikes, where can they go learn to ride without having to do a big climb?
And so we had an initial amount of funds to do something with. We just needed a place to do it. And so that's what started the search. We identified this piece of land. We proposed it. In April of 2024, they accepted the proposal and we signed the lease for this land.
Maui Land and Pine, or MLP, finally came forward and found this amazing spot next to Maui Prep here in Napili. And we were able to work out a multi-year lease. There's no future plans for development, so it's a pretty permanent fixture here in West Maui. We had the best crew ever for building, and a lot of them have kind of just appreciated being on the island, obviously.
Everyone is really good at what they do, so kind of let everyone run their own program. We have the same goal in mind.
Carson Storch, who, even though he's one of the top guys, he's out there at Rampage and competing left and right and putting out the sickest edits and all the movies. He's an extremely talented excavator operator. And so that was awesome to have him here. And through him, we were actually able to get a really good connection with Kubota USA and Bacon Universal.
They hooked us up with an 8-ton excavator, the Kubota KX80, a 40, which is a 4-ton, a skid steer, and a walk behind. I've been in the 80 the whole time, just kind of roughing stuff in and getting the bulk of stuff there. And then Cody comes through in the 40 and gets it closer to the final product. And then, yeah, there's a crew of volunteers that have been here helping out the whole time. I just love moving dirt, and the fact that it's going to be something for all these kids and generations to enjoy for years to come.
We brought in Kyle Strait to kind of focus on the slalom, make sure all the flow is right.
I love building in general. I always have, as a kid, and now it's awesome to be part of a build that is, for up and coming riders and for people to get out and ride bikes. The dirt took a minute to get used to, for sure. It's like I've always wanted to build out here, because it's such a vibrant color of dirt, and it's been a little bit tough.
It's really tough to work with. It's super sticky.
Sticking to the plate or the shovel, finding that consistency that'll work well to compact. I think we got it figured out.
It works good. Just get it muddy, pack it, wait for it to dry and crack up, sweep some dirt into it, water it, and ride it. I think it should hold up good. It's really fun to work with when you get it right.
We figured we needed a badass hand worker, so we brought in Kona teammate Eddie Reynolds to do some hand work and testing and obviously surfing. He kind of played like a double job there where he's doing all the sick slap packing, making sure everything's flowing, but also he's teaching us how to drop in on the steeper waves and make turns and stuff. So we appreciate him being here big time.
The park's pretty awesome. Slightly more entry level, which I think is good. I mean, there's a preschool right here.
The families driving by, honking horns, during pickup, and all the kids on the fence, and then they're hanging the signs over.
Yeah, we've had like a little fan base the whole time. All these kids screaming, all stoked, and yeah, I think they just want to see us ride. But I think once they realize that they can enjoy this every day after school right next door, they're gonna be stoked.
A lot of these kids probably haven't been on a bike before, so here you can go over there and you got teeter-totters and wood features to learn how to ride on. You got a slalom track. You got these flow lines for riders who are looking to either start riding jumps and berms or just have some fun. And then for the kids who maybe come here every day and they get good, you got like a 15-foot trick jump right there.
Flat drop, roller down into a trick jump, and I think we're gonna mulch it. And yeah, ride's great. There's a climb trail that goes up, and then at the top there's a green line, a blue line that both kind of feed down. Progressive trails are really important for people to learn how to ride bikes and learn the basics, and then they can work their way up and have something to look forward to. You know, like they'll look at the trick jump and want to ride that one day.
Wait, I didn't hear you guys. Who's excited for a bike park? Woo!
Does everybody know Uncle Moose? Can we say, hi, Uncle Moose?
Oh no, I want a big aloha. 1, 2, 3. When you get on a bike, you have to use your right and left. You have to use all your senses, right? And so kids, they're dropping out of that trauma in their mind, right? And they're dropping into their body. They're out of their head, they're riding around and releasing that trauma. You know, so like the bicycle is such an important vehicle for that.
Job was to get the riding stuff dialed in, and the rest of it was going to be left up to the community, and it's working out great in that sense. We'll be seeing signs coming in, we'll see some trees being planted, some grass being sprayed, a bunch of gravel being laid down, so there's very clear byways of where to go, so you walk into the park, you're not confused which direction to go.
This park hopefully just gets better and better and stays tight little concept of progression, but hopefully it branches out into just miles of trails, and it wouldn't have been possible without Kona Bikes and the Max G Foundation and Dan Gearhart having that core belief.
Hey, if you have a company and you want to donate something to help fundraise, anything. We want to get kids on bikes, and we want to get kids in this park, and we want to get them shredding. And and we want to get them out of their head and into their bodies and off of the phone and out of their minds and off of this phone, and just it's going to be so good.
Thank you to the community of Maui first and foremost, and then Ray, Moose at Cranked, Maui Land and Pine, and everyone at Senses Rad Trails, Kyle Strait for coming out, and Eddie Reynolds, and everyone that's been involved. Sorry if I forgot, but all the volunteers that came out. This is something to be really proud of, and it's just the beginning. Hopefully this is the beginning of many, many trails on Maui, but at the very minimum, this is a place to enjoy. It'll be here for years and years to come.